G'day guys, Chaos Chronicles. Alright, let's do a video. I thought we'd do a video. In the comment section, I'm getting a lot of questions and stuff asked about your first day in prison and what did I do and what to do. So, alright, let's get into that. And I'll discuss a few things on the way not to do that will get you in trouble and the things that you could possibly to do that you don't get into trouble with people, you know. So your first day at prison is going to be like nothing you've ever experienced in your life. So picture yourself being a little tiny fish getting chucked into a pool with piranhas. And that's exactly what it's like. It's exactly like that. And so every single one of them prisoners, when you walk there being a new prisoner, is sussing you out. And every single one of them is thinking the same thing. So they're all thinking, wow, who is this guy? Is he a dog? Is he a sex offender? Is he trustworthy? Is he staunch? So everyone's thinking the same thing. And so a lot of them people are going to put you to a test. So a lot of people think on their first day that they have to put themselves on show, put themselves out there, let people know they're there, which is kind of right, okay? So one thing you don't want to do, here's a a rule that people fall into. You don't want to be called a cave dweller, okay? You don't want to be seen as that prisoner who spends 24 hours a day in his cell. You will get called a cave dweller and people are going to be sus on you and they are going to think, why is he doing that? So, yeah, don't do that. But when you go to jail, just be yourself, 100% be yourself. Don't go telling bullshit stories, how crazy you are on the outside, how many people you've bashed, how many people you've shot, how many people you stabbed. No one cares. I don't care. Chopper Reed said it perfect in his movie, and that is, you are just another bare bum in the shower in here. It does not matter who you are. I've seen the biggest gangsters outside get stomped on like rodents in jail. It does not matter to these people. They do not care. And so just be yourself. If you be yourself, people are going to see you as yourself and see you like you for being yourself and not trying to be something you're not. Because believe me, if you try and put it out there, the message that you are the craziest person on the yard, you're going to be fighting everyone in that yard. You're going to get stabbed. You're going to get clubbed. Mate, I'm telling you, it's going to be hectic. So just be yourself. Don't pretend to be a gangster that you're not. Even if you've done this, and that outside, so has every single person in that jail. You are not different than anyone in that jail. So don't think that you are. Also, don't think that you're better than everyone because he spent his whole life in jail. Respect goes a long, long way in jail, and it is something that he's held on to. And first impressions last also as well. So that's why I say to be yourself. If you walk in that yard bouncing with your chest out, you know, pumped out, thinking that you're something that you're not, everyone's going to see that, and that's going to stick, and everyone's just going to think that you are a goose. And so don't do that. You know, just be yourself. Use the time wisely. You've got nothing but time. So instead of walking around thinking, what can I do? Set yourself tasks to do, right? So what you want to do is you want to get a regime that you do every single day. Get yourself into a habit. Go to the gym. Every single jail has got a gym. I don't think any jails have free weights anymore, but they all have cables. And if you want big guns, you've got to go to the gym. Spend this time to get healthy. Start eating healthy, eating right. A lot of people use this time and just get on drugs and party in jail. You know what I mean? Use this time to be better for your family, a better person when you get out. And I know it's hard. Believe me, I gangstered on every single day, fighting, stabbing, this and that. Do you know what I mean? I've done that every single day. But that is why I can stand here and say that you don't want to do that. Out of my 9-year sentence, I probably spent nearly 4 years in the slot. My longest one stretch slot was 19 months in 23-hour-a-day lockdown. I was charged with attempted murder. Someone was found unalive and they were brought back to life and I was pinged for it. Me and 5 other blokes actually, but I was the main, you know what I mean? And anyway, the charges ended up getting dropped. But anyway, you don't want to be doing that because I'm telling you, you will spend even though I enjoy slot time, I'm a person who can enjoy my own company. And the slot time, well, you've got nothing but company. But I'm telling you now, I've seen the hardest of hardest men buckle in that slot because it is hard for some people. Do you know what I mean? You've got nothing except for a blanket, a pillow, a bare blanket, what 700 blokes have slept on, done dirty things on, and whatever. You don't want to spend your time in there. All right, so let's go over some rules that will get you in trouble when you are in jail, right? So most prisons have laundry billets. Okay, so a billet is somebody, a worker. A worker is called a billet. So any job you've got, you are a billet. You are a unit billet, which sweep the floors and clean the benches and stuff like that. A kitchen billet, you hand out meals and stuff like that. A yard billet, you clean the yard, rah, rah, rah. All right, so like I said, respect and courtesy will get you a long way. Don't think you're better than anyone. If you think that you're tougher than someone, keep it to yourself. No one wants to hear it. Also, like I said, respect, but there are so many little things. All right, so let's start with you walk into somebody's cell, do not sit on their bed. Okay, you sit on somebody's bed without getting asked, there is a good chance you're going to get clipped out of that cell. It's an old school rule. It's a respect thing, and it is so people. It's a respect thing. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to walk into somebody's house and sit on their bed in their house. So why would you do it in someone's cell? That is their house, and that goes for anything, any type of mess, anything like that. Inside the cell and outside. If you have a mess outside the unit, if you've used any of the cooking utensils, they have like a rice cooker, a big pot like that, the ones with the pointy things in it that you turn and it heats up like a fry pan. Put it away, clean it. Other people have to use that after you. So you have to put it away and you have to clean it. You are not at home. No one's going to do the dishes for you or clean up after you. Only you have to do it. And believe me, if you are seen as someone who is dirty and messy, you are going to be called a chat, an Ivan Milat, a chat, a dirty prick. And trust me, that is seen as hated people. You don't want to do that. All right, let's go with other dumb ones like washing or the fridge. So the washing. If there is a laundry billet, let him do the washing. Do not go in there and think you're going to get in before someone. If you're a last, don't grab your bag and put it at the front of the line because you think you're a someone and all them people aren't. Don't do that shit because it will get you in trouble. Same with when you're lining up. Do not push in front of anyone. I promise you right now, someone will punch your head in for skipping a line. I promise you, I've seen it 100 million times. All right, so there's words and things, the way you talk to people. So do not, I've explained it in other videos, do not call people champ. You do not want to call people champ. A champ in Victorian prisons means pedophile. So if you call someone champ, how you going champ? You're calling them a pedophile. Don't call someone goofy. Don't call someone a dog. Don't call someone a maggot. Don't call someone a skunk. All those words will get you in trouble. Now, when you talk to someone, don't call someone bloke. Don't call someone cobber. Don't use all those silly Aussie slangs what some people use because I promise you right now, people will get offended by it. I promise you. The best thing you can do is call someone buddy or bro or buds. Everyone in jail calls everyone buds or hey budsy, hey budsy. You know what I mean? And then that way you're not, you know what I mean? And another thing as well, if you do not have a religious background, keep that to yourself. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, but everyone doesn't need to hear it. Okay? So I'm telling you now, there are religions like the Muslims in jail. If you think that you are better than them and you are going to attack their religion, I promise you, you are going to have hell fall down on you. I promise you. Take it from somebody who thought he could take on the Lebos and lost miserably. I will put my hand up and say, I got my head punched in. Yes, I was by myself. Yes, there was a lot of them, but it doesn't matter. I got clapped. All right. So stealing, right? So I understand that a lot of people are awesome thieves, and so that's how they make a living. I promise you right now, if you get caught stealing in jail, you are 100% going to get stomped. There is no two ways about it. You are going to be seen as the worst of the worst category, in the same category as rapists, pedophiles, dogs and rats, snitches, if you steal. Do not steal in jail. All right. So that's a couple of funny things that will get you in trouble. You know what I mean? Same with the dryer and the fridge. Don't move something of someone's in the fridge to put yours in there, okay? That is the same as pushing in a line. And I promise you right now that you will get in trouble for doing that. The fridges are there. There is enough room for everyone to have something in there. You do not have to have 10 things in there so 2 people have to miss out. I'm telling you, it's all about kindness, respect, and just common sense. It's legitimate common sense, right? And so also when people first come in, they make the mistake of like trying of well, what's the word? So they try and make people think that they're something that they're not, right? And I know I said that at the start, but this goes with all facets of things. Don't try and let people know that you're something that you're not. I can tell you right now, even though like there is still staunch people, there is still suspects in jail that want to know everything about your life. So next time they get in trouble, they can tell on you. Yeah. So all these stories, what you are telling people, whether it be in the line, you're in the methadone room, you're out doing laps, and you're telling your mates about all the gangster shit you've done. I stabbed this dude. I shot this dude. I burnt this dude's house down. Bang. 12 months later, you are in jail because that dude who you didn't know, who you thought was a solid mate because you spent every day with him for 12 months, has just lagged you. So I promise you right now, you have to think that every single person in there is going to dob on you. And if you think that every person is going to dob on you, she won't be opening your mouth. So just keep everything to yourself. Like I said, it's a very common thing that people think they have to tell everyone their craziest of crazy stories. Don't do it. I'm telling you right now, I've done a lot of jail. If I see you in jail, right, and this is my perception, if I see you in jail and trust me, you're not going to go unnoticed in jail. You cannot fly under the radar. So I'm going to see you. You're new in jail. I'm going to suss you out because if you are a suspect, I do not want you in my yard and I am going to get you out, whatever method it takes. And believe me now, if the armory needs to come out and you need to go, you will be wearing a shank sandwich. Easy as that. Okay, so people are going to be watching you, so just walk around and do your thing because people are going to be watching you. I'm going to sit there. If I see you walking around to all your mates and telling them how crazy you are, you're loud in the yard, you're air raiding this and that, I'm telling you now, you are going to get more enemies than friends. And the last thing you want in jail is, at least you don't even want one enemy, let alone the whole yard turning on you. And I promise you, that is what is going to happen. All these men are set so in their ways. And if you come in there and think that you are going to change that, man, I promise you now, you are going to feel it. So I guess you just got to be yourself. And it's really, a lot of these rules are common sense. Do you know what I mean? Don't talk to the screws either. I know people think, and you got to be smart too, right? Don't have the screws as enemies, but you can't have them as friends. It doesn't matter what you do on the outside. If you're security, if you used to do this, if you gel with that screw, I promise you, if I see you talking to a screw once, right, I'm going to notice. In my head, I'm going to say, oh yeah, Waz's talking to the screws, right? Next time I see you talking to the screws, because I took a mental note, I'm going to go, oh, Waz's talking to the screws again. Nothing of it, right? If that persists, I promise you right now, I'm going to see me mate. I'm going to go, hey, have you seen Wazza? What about that dude? Fucking dead set should put that screw on his phone list. So I promise you right now, you are not friends with the screws. They are the enemy. And I promise you, as friendly as they are being to you, they are using you for information. They are not your friend. They don't like you. They hate you. They go home to their family every day and sleep in a nice bed. You don't. They are the enemy. Criminal, enemy. Criminal, enemy. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to see it that way. What else haven't I covered? I know there's so much I can cover, but it's just silly to cover it all in one video. So, just be yourself, but also try and educate yourself. I don't mean go do education, which you can do. You can do university courses, but mate, some of them libraries in prison have got good books in them. Ask them if they don't have books. Ask them if you're into I'm telling you now. There's War and Peace. If you read War and Peace, that there is the craziest read you'll ever read in your life. And for me, that made me a better soldier because I read that. I rang Sun Tzu. He's a Chinese what they call it. Wise man say, man who'll walk through an airport door sideways is going to Bangkok. Yeah, what are they called? Confucius, But yeah, there you go, guys. That's things you should and shouldn't do. And just be yourself. Don't get lost in prison. But also, I have to say this as well. You are in jail, right? You are in jail and you're not getting out. You cannot. So for me, if I wasn't on the phone to my family, on a visit, or writing a letter, I would not think about them. Why? Because for me, the moment I spent daydreaming in my head was the moment I was going to be wearing a bloody shank necklace. Do you know what I mean? And for me, and it's fine, guys. I'm telling you now, you don't want to spend all day, every day thinking about your family. I can promise you that right now. Yes, you love your family. Yes, you do that. But spend that time thinking about your family, but bettering yourself. Don't just sit there and think, I need to be a better person for my family. Do. Take that first step. Start bettering yourself. Do you know what I mean? Tell the boys, oh yeah, I don't want to do bupe anymore. I don't want to smoke bupe anymore. I don't want to get out of jail with a jail habit and then have to deal with withdrawal and this and that because I can't walk 100 meters and get my drugs. I have to go. Do you know what I mean? Start acting on it. And I don't want to sound like a fucking preacher. I'm absolutely not trying to be like that. But 100%, I know that there are guys right now that are sitting at home with a bag of drugs there, a bag of cash there, wondering if their friends are dobbing on them, wondering if their friends are screwing their missus. Do you know what I mean? All this shit. And you guys that are sitting there thinking about it, fuck that. Why would you want to sit there and think about that shit every single day? And think about this. Is that pile of money you got there, the happiness, does that outweigh the sadness? I can promise you it fucking doesn't. I promise you it doesn't. And if it does now, it's not going to because I promise you right now, even when you're selling drugs and doing all this shit, you are a target of people that target dealers and that. It's not worth it. It's a bullshit world where everyone swears their alliance to you and tells you that they're your fucking friend and that they will never dob on you. Here's a reality, folks. I'm 40 years old and I can tell you 8 out of my 10 friends flipped on me and dobbed me into the police to get a better sentence for themselves. And if you think that your fucking friends are different than that, you are kidding yourself, right? Right now, if you are sitting there with your crew of mates and you're watching this, take a look at every single one of them. And I can promise you, if there is 5 of you there right now, 1 of you is dobbing on you. I promise you that. And statistics of my life just tells me that. And I'm telling you, every single person I know from criminal doing this and that will tell you the same thing. It's a fake world. It is a fake world. There's boys sitting there right now that are waiting to get their full patch, this and that, because they think that life's going to be so good once they get their full patch. Bro, I'm telling you right now, there is no such thing as brotherhoods in clubs anymore. There's club members that watch me, and I'm telling you, you guys got to know, that the brotherhood that was there 20 years ago is not there now. It's not worth it. And seriously, boys that were in clubs that went to jails, how many of your brothers come and visited you, right to you, put money on your books, went and mowed your mum's lawn, went and mowed your missus' lawn, actually mowed your missus' lawn, not try and get in bed with her? Fuck that. I was over that shit out. You know what I mean? And guys, you got to think about this shit. It's not You got to think about the long term. This is all happy now. What about your family? Your kid's a baby now, yeah? And he's awesome. You've got him in mad clothes, this and that. Wait until he's a teenager and he starts recognizing all the shit that you're doing. I'm telling you, it will make you need to get to a point in your life where, am I a criminal or am I a dad? And if you choose that criminal world, I guarantee you, mate, you're going to have your son crying at your funeral, crying through the visit centre. It's not worth it, guys. Trust me. And I'm not a preacher. I'm not. But I'm telling you, I've been through hell and back to get to where I am today to tell you not to go to hell and back. I promise you it is not worth it. And I've had guys already that talk to me in the comments and have contacted me outside and, you know, that have told me that my videos help, and I really, really do, because, guys, that is a fake world. Not just bike clubs, gangs, any type of crime is all mad. Everyone's staunch, a staunch mate, until they've got caught with $60,000 worth of meth and they're looking at 10 years, 5 years. Let's see how solid your friend group is then. And I only say it because it's true. I promise you, like I said, 8 out of my 10 friends flipped on me to save themselves. Do you know what I mean? And I bore the brunt of it. But anyway, that is life, and I chose to live it. If you chose to live it, suck shit. You're going to go through that shit. But believe me, your kids are sitting back you're thinking that they don't know what's going on. Everything that's happening now because they're young, they're going to talk to you about when they're teenagers. I guarantee you. All right, guys, that's the end of that one. That's what you got to do when you go on to jail. And so there's a few rules there that'll help you. You know what I mean? Just be yourself. And it's common sense. Same kind of rules as outside. If you don't know, ask. Don't do. Just ask. Trust me. All right, guys. Chaos Chronicles, you guys have been absolutely awesome. Jump up there and shoot me a subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that bell, guys. That way you'll never miss any of my videos. If you've got something to ask me, chuck it in the comment section and I will get to it. If you have a look, I answer every comment in my comment section, and some of them comments turn into videos. All right, guys. Chaos Chronicles, thank you so much. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Let's go.